Go live. Oh, here we go.
Oh my God! Please play it again. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was
So crazy.
All right. Welcome to an impromptu conversation about one of my personal favorite sets of Marvel cards ever made. That's the 1992 Jim Lee, set made by Impel. It's the X-Men Series 1. It's a huge set, revolutionary set. It's the first set I ever collected as a kid. It's the first, my intro to comic books was this set, which is why I'm extremely biased, why it's awesome. I had no idea who most of these characters were until I purchased it and started collecting it as a kid. But and who better to talk about this stuff with me tonight is Sketch Card Hive. Welcome. And Elusive is with us as well. So glad you made it. And we got Spidey Jew. We got 3/4 of the Pack Fresh podcast. I invited Gingy, but I got totally ghosted by
yes. He's got a lot going on. It's a different time zone too. So
yeah. Well,
Like
this is
3
going
in
to
the
be really.
morning.
I'll say that again.
It's
Well, I know the
3
hours. Yeah, the hours and stuff. And I think he said something about his job, right?
and moving.
Poor
So he's
guy.
got a bunch
Always
going on.
moving. Man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm located in Utah. The center of the universe, and
Yeah. Gosh, there's a lot of you guys in Utah who collect.
You seem
That's
to have
awesome.
good Wi-Fi though.
who else? Somebody else I saw last week was, and then one of your episodes was from Utah. I was like, who is that guy?
Yeah, Marvel Madness.
Yes.
MCU.
Marvel Madness.
Good job.
Yeah. And then you got Ian Fisher, who
Fisher.
I think still holds the record for the highest Marvel card sale ever recorded. If you don't count some eBay sales.
Well, we're still,
If you count the fake ones, then
Yeah,
no.
if you count the fake ones, then no.
we in Utah are surrounded by 300 miles of desert, so we have to keep ourselves busy by collecting things. And
Makes sense.
yeah, it's but yeah, I just am so glad you guys are here, and I wanted to show my personal collection of the Jim Lee autograph cards. But before we get to that, I thought we'd maybe just kind of talk about the set in general and what makes this set so, I don't know, unique, and kind of what sets it apart from other sets out there. Both, the two precursor sets, Marvel Universe Series 1 and 2, and then all the other following sets. How does this set itself apart? Do you want to get us started, Sketch Card?
Yeah, absolutely. So X-Men Series 1 is, I'm a huge fan of this set. Jim Lee did another set. He didn't do original art for the set for Comic Images, but the first time that he did original card art for a card set was X-Men Series 1, 1992. And in this set, it's crazy. If you go to comicartfans.com right now, you can actually see some of the originals. And the way he drew them was on an 8x11. I believe it's an 8x11. Maybe it was 11. Maybe it was an actual comic book sheet. I forget that, like the pages that they do comic book art on covers and stuff like in interiors. But you actually have two cards there. So you would have the black and whites, the inks of usually two characters, and then you'd have their profile pictures in the square.
Their little passport photos on the bottom.
Yeah, super
back of
cool.
the card. I love
That's
those.
the best passport photos. I love that. And that's how he did them. And those pages are hardly sought after and so forth. But for this set was like you were saying earlier, this was definitely a childhood set for me. This introduced me to all of the X-Men. This introduced me to the look of the X-Men. Yes. This was kind of like X-Men animated series, cards, comic books. At least for me, that's how it just went right through that line there. The set also, we talked to Ken Benoff, who was the creative director who worked on this set and kind of brought this set to fruition. There's a podcast episode on it. And he talked about this set. And he said that he really, when he made the sheet, the uncut sheet, so every card set that's made, well, back then, could all be shown on one sheet usually. He wanted the sheet to be like an art piece itself. So the way he made it was that he tried to organize in a way where the Danger Room insert set would fit right in the middle of the uncut sheet.
Oh,
The
that's cool.
9-pager.
Yeah.
He tried very desperately to get it. He couldn't get it to work out, but it was pretty interesting that it was the first time anybody was really thinking about how to organize cards on the uncut sheet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Understand.
Well, that is unique, and I guess it is the first set that has the uncut sheet, right? Like,
So there were uncut sheets way before as well. Even
for Marvel series.
Yeah.
Oh.
Stacking Gems just posted one from 84 or 86.
Yeah. Comic
Something like
Images
that.
did them too. Yeah. And then
It's all comic book
like-
covers, though.
yeah, it's the first comic covers. Yeah. Is that series 1 I think he had? Beautiful set.
Yeah.
Beautiful set. But yeah.
I'm gonna cut you loose. We got to save some of the awesome for
course.
others. So, what about you? Do you collect this set, and does it have a special place in your collector heart?
It's definitely unique, to be honest with you. Like where my brain goes right when I see the set is like 80s vibe because of the colors he chose.
Oh, I know.
They stand out a lot. I recently
Turquoise and
acquired
pink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super nice. The turquoise and the off red pink, right?
Yeah.
Depending on how faded your copy is. But I was able to acquire a PSA 10 Wolverine version of that card. So I'm excited for that. That's a very nice card. And I think that's one of the ones that has the embossed stamped as well, right? It's the same art feature.
Yes. It's one of the 5 promo cards, the primary 5 cards that were signed.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about that in a little bit, because I'm gonna bust this wide open a little bit, but and yeah, Spidey Jew, what about you?
So it's interesting. My brother, who does not collect Marvel cards, tagged me in your post and said, "Hey, did you see this?" There's this guy who's been hoarding Jim Lee autos from this set,
Yeah.
and he's got more to reveal. And you may have seen the tag, but my point is it's iconic. And in a sense, for me, if you think about the image of our X-Men, what they look like, their costumes, this is the canon. Like everything else is a variant. The way Jim Lee drew it in this set for our generation, it is the canon look of the X-Men. And so I think that's one of the reasons why it's super iconic.
Yeah, there's thanks guys. Those are great. Those are great thoughts. And yeah, I think even as a kid, just like, seeing these colors, like these colors pop. I mean, I'm going to get my camera set up here in a little bit, but I just love how like Beast is leaving the frame as well. Like his hands beat the overlap on the border, his hands going right over the X logo. I have a better camera, guys. Don't worry. I'm not going to show every card like that. That would be horrible. But yeah, let me tell you a little bit about, I used to go to the comic book store when I was about 8. I started riding my bike out. It was about half a mile away from my house. There was a giant patch, like a fieldy, deserty patch between my house and the comic book store. So I'd have to get new tires all the time because I was hitting thorns all the time out in Utah. It's crazy. And I would drive, I'd ride my bike out there, and I didn't have a lot of money. I got $2 for allowance, $3 for allowance. And I just started looking at all my friends who I was riding over there with. They were all buying these nice upper deck packs of baseball cards and stuff. And I was never as sporty as they were. And I started just looking around at the shelves. I'm like, what are those? And they're 60 cents. They were 60 cents a pack. And there's a very few cards in each pack anyway. So they're very thin and stuff. But I started purchasing them. And at that point, I had only really known who kind of Spider-Man was, and Superman, Batman, Iron Man, kinda, maybe Captain America. We all thought he was kind of cheesy when we were little. Just kind of what? Why does he like America so much? I don't get it. And but then when I started, I bought these cards, and I started tearing open these packs and just seeing all the information. It was like a perfect way for a lot of us young kids that grew up in the 70s, 80s, 90s to all of a sudden get onboarded to the Marvel universe as a whole. It was a pocket-sized encyclopedia to every superhero you'd ever want to know. And a lot of people got onboarded with the Marvel series, the Marvel Universe series before that. But for me, it was, my timing was when this Jim Lee set came out. And just looking at how beautiful the artwork was, every card done by Jim Lee, you could tell that every card was done by the same artist. It had that unique feel to it. And what makes it so amazing, first of all, Jim Lee's one of the most, the most potentially in the top 5 most famous Marvel artists of all time.
Sure.
Maybe 5, 6, 7. There's a lot of but but the thing is, like, you could tell like it was done by like a first-rate, a higher echelon artist, and not just kind of like, hey, who do we have available to do these cards this year? Which I think, we can get to this in a little bit. I think that's kind of what's a lot of the newer card sets has become, which is just a lot of kind of, hey, who can we afford to do the set? Kind of outlooks, or the recycling art, like as you said earlier, sketch card. But this card, this set, completely unique. I hit a sketch card as a kid, and I don't know what happened to it. I don't have my original set. I think I traded it.
Out of X-Men Series 1?
X-Men Series 1, I hit a SIG when I was probably 12.
Wow.
And yes, and I hit it, and I think my friend's older brother, who was 16, I think he traded me for it. I think he gave me like $6 for it. And for me, that was like, that's 10 packs of cards. I got a set to finish. Sure, let's do this. So that was kind of the start, but I didn't even think it was that special. I just thought, if you hit one in your first, few packs, then you hit it. As I was getting older, my budget started increasing. I stopped collecting cards kind of in 96, 97, when pretty much the entire world stopped collecting Marvel cards. Right. That's kind of when that was the dark times.
That was a cliff.
The cliff, yeah. And then, I go to finish high school, go to college, get a job in Los Angeles. And I find myself at the 2004 WizardCon, Long Beach WizardCon. And I had never been even to a comic convention before, like a big one. And I was planning on going to the San Diego Comic Con later that year. But this one was in the spring, I believe. And I was looking at all the booths and all the people, talking to a lot of people, buying a lot of merch. I had just got my tax return. I was young and married. I was 22 and had maybe 23, I think, and had money to spend. And there was an individual who didn't have a booth, but he was trying to move these cards. He had some cards, and he had a big binder. And he said, "You collect cards?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Well," I'm like, "What kind?" He's like, "Marvel cards." I'm like, "Let me see." And he had a display of all 5 promos signed by Jim Lee, the entire set. He also had a few other ones signed, stamped by Jim Lee. And he, I looked at them, I'm like, those are the 92 X-Men cards? I'm like, those are I used to collect those. And he's like, yeah, these are rad. So I bought them I'm not going to tell you how many I bought. I bought a lot. I spent about $2,000 on cards. And this is in 2004. It wasn't, 2003.
Wow.
And yeah, so I cashed in. I went in on Marvel cards, and ever since then, I had a huge little collection, and these cards look great. But then I've been collecting them, like as you said earlier. I've been collecting them on eBay like a madman for since 2005, like 2004, 2005. I've literally been just like, I have a search, Jim Lee autographed, Jim Lee signed, Impel X-Men Chase, Impel X-Men inserts. Anything, and I've been collecting them, and I've paid anywhere between $50 to $1,000 for these cards.
Yeah, so you're why I don't have one.
Irrational amounts of money.
So you're the one picking them up. I was wondering.
Oh yeah, no, I've had a bead on most of them, since the beginning.
Yeah, Scandal is taking a different meaning all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah,
Scandal.
And so I've been definitely hoarding them, and
good for you.
I guess it didn't mean a whole lot until last year. Then all of a sudden I was like, oh, it was like, and I was telling Sketchcard this before the stream started. I remember going on YouTube about 2 years ago looking for Marvel card collector videos. There was nothing. There was if maybe one of you had a stream, I don't know, but I didn't find any streams that seemed compelling to me at the time. there's nothing, the whole unboxing thing hadn't really become a huge rage as far as cards go, but it was kind of coming up. But again, nobody collecting older vintage cards or talking about it. So I kind of was just like, oh, so nobody's collecting these things. And, maybe they just mean something to me, and that's that. So there was 2,000 of them made in the set, right? I have the press release from Impel, 92. And
Wait, so sorry, I have to know this. So
I can show you the image if you want to.
I want you're gonna send it to me because you're such a
Okay.
nice friend, and I'm
Yeah.
dying to see it and have it. So if many people don't know this, these press releases and these pieces of document are extremely important in kind of like obviously categorizing and understanding what exactly was happening. So they said for sure that he signed 2,000 and they were inserted. Wow, that's crazy
It's
good.
a very convenient press release.
It's a good press release.
It's a convenient press release.
It's a convenient press
everything we want. Let me just find this.
Wow, 2,000. I
So
knew
what
it
are
was
we
rare.
what are we thinking about per character then?
Well,
So
there's
he
five
only-
there's 5 promos, so you could
400?
divide it like that. But I'm sure you guys read like ABS. I don't even. So there used to be. Okay, I should say this as well, because while we're talking about uncovering lost information, which is I think a huge obsession of a lot of you guys, like there's been a whole spell of information that's been lost. A lot of this information was on websites that were text-based websites from like the late 90s, and all of these these servers just started one by one disappearing with the data on them. So when you get an image like this, let me show you. Share screen.
I'm so
Again,
excited.
slight noob here. Here we go. It's framed and everything.
Oh, that looks official.
Exactly. This is undeniable. Here we go. Right here.
Wow.
During the presentation today, Lee signed the first of 2,000 Okay, it does say first of.
Okay,
So
so that's
could
why.
be more. 2,000 autographed cards, which will be randomly inserted into X-Men trading card packs. I guess, yeah.
Well, and we know they made it into the packs because Wolverine provided his personal guarantee of the security of the card. So that is
Exactly.
important to note.
Yes, I like. Again, this happened at the New York Comic Book Convention in 1992.
Have
January
you reached out to
92.
George White to verify the information up there at the top? Contact with phone number.
George White.
Yeah, look at that. There it is. Somebody call that right now. Let's get this going.
Let's see if we get a dial tone.
Right.
We'll do that later. That makes another
George,
show right
hello,
there.
this is George. He answers. It just blows.
He's
my
been
mind.
waiting. The whole time.
He's just been waiting.
Are you calling me about the 1992 press release?
Yes,
Because that's the only thing that this thing does.
exactly 2000.
Okay, this is what else is interesting about this set is this date. So what happens 3 months from this date, guys?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Jim Lee leaves
yeah.
Marvel.
You
Jim
haven't
Lee
said
leaves
he
Marvel
leaves.
3 months from this time.
Image was created.
Image was created 3 months from this time. This set by Jim Lee is the Jim Lee's Marvel Swan Song.
Mm-hmm.
This was it. This
Wow.
was one of his, probably the last thing he did, or if not one of the last things he did. He probably did a few issues. But also just to think about how he was given the opportunity to catalog the entire corner of the X-Men lore through these cards. It's just incredible. And then he was
That's
off.
amazing.
He left, never came back. You
Wow.
know?
Wow.
It's a really like the planets aligned for this individual to make this awesome set,
Mhm.
and then they went out of alignment and would never happen again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's
Wow.
yeah, that's a lot to chew on, a lot to think about. You're not missing.
Yeah, I
your,
mean, you think about
you're
it,
not
like,
missing your auction, are you? I hope.
yeah. I mean, what if
I'm watching it.
what if Lee and Todd and Liefeld, those guys, what if they stay at Marvel? Does Marvel Cards ever take a dip? Because those guys are putting out art that ends up on our cards and keeps people interested. I don't know. Be interesting.
Yeah,
How
it's so
different.
interesting, right? Like, while a lot of us are getting onboarded to Marvel, to this new artist that it's just totally tapped. We're like totally like doubling down on this guy. We love this guy's art. He
Right.
pieces out. As kids probably didn't realize this guy had pieced out for years. You know,
Mm.
like we were like, still look. Hey, why doesn't that other guy that drew that one
Yeah.
set draw these?
Yeah. When did Wildcats become Marvel?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I know. but it's a lot to chew on. So I am releasing. So I've been working on kind of a little bit of a YouTube. I've been working on a few different videos that kind of go into some of the interesting aspects of this set as well, which I'll be releasing on this channel.
Exciting.
Going forward. Yeah, it's going to be really fun. A lot of it's kind of like fun, nerdy stuff about comparing stats on the back of the cards, but also, you know, being an artist myself, I kind of go into why the cards are really incredible and why they struck a chord. And yeah, like I really am glad that Elusive mentioned the color scheme, because the color scheme is so wild, you know, pinks, blues, lime greens, and especially when you look at the previous sets, you know, Marvel Universe Series 1 is, you know, was very safe, like white border. Supposed to be an even white border, but never seemed to get even.
Not around my Cosmic Spider-Man for some reason.
X-Men Series 2 got a little bit more funky with their cool diagonals and pale purples and pale oranges and things. But this is the one that just kind of like I don't know if Jim Lee did the color design. I doubt it. I imagine there was some brilliant artist at Marvel a graphic artist that really put these together.
Yeah. It was part of the creative team. We asked Ken, who was doing that, because we were kind of like wondering if he had any kind of like say about how the cards were designed, but he said that was done by the team at Marvel who was doing the cards at the time.
Yeah, Lee basically just pencils, right? Like he just
Inks
draws
and pencils,
and yeah, with some inks, but mainly penciling. Awesome.
I think the color was overlay as well, transparencies. I don't know for sure, but when I see the originals, I only see the ink. So I don't know if he did the color or if he had Scott do the color, because Williams is the one who does color for him, or inks. Is that his? I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking. Sorry.
Scandale, you're muted, bud.
Oh, sorry, buddy. You're
no problem. Yeah, he inks. He doesn't color. Scott Williams.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
But I don't know who colored these. So that's another thing that's incredible
I'm
about
not
these
sure.
cards. The coloring is so fantastic. And again, I feel bad that we're not looking at them. So let me try to bring up my camera here. You guys can fill the dead space. I'm really nervous, by the way. This is my first time ever coming online live for anything.
You're doing great, man. I'll tell
you're
you,
right. This is awesome.
When I was going back through my cards and kind of my reawakening, so to speak, I was really surprised at how well this set held up, even from a condition standpoint. I mean, they're really well made cards for that time.
They really are, and they feel sturdy. You know what I mean? I opened up a pack months ago because I had someone gave me like an extra pack, and they felt strong. You know what I mean? And even the holograms are super beautiful. Like they're very clean, you know?
Yeah, so I got a few at PSA. Hopefully we'll get them next year.
Nice.
Hopefully we get them next year.
I sent them in February. We'll see. But it was value modern, so
I love it.
Nice.
All right. I'm going to talk about my PSA submission strategy. All right.
Okay.
I listen to Neo a lot, and he's the one that got me strategically thinking about what I submit. He's the one that got me to submit these in the first place. So I didn't submit the pop numbers were so low that I didn't submit my best cards. And my strategy there was, okay, well, if there's 0 on the pop count, and again, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe if there's 0, I'll get some gift grades from some worse cards. Because like
there's no scanned image for them to look at.
Yeah, exactly. There's less there. So here
You're building the registry.
And I have to tell you, so I submitted these, and I was so disappointed with the results. I thought I had 8, 9s, 10s all day long. 8, 9s, 10s. And I looked at these cards. I look at this again. I'm super OCD with spacing and things. So you know, I looked at this one. This one got a 7.
That's my PSA number. Look at that signature, though, man.
The silver, it pops up so much.
Yep.
Oh, wow, God, look at that stamp. I'm so mad at
Let's see if we get the stamp. The stamp is what's so tricky to photograph.
The embossed stamp. It's there.
See.
Now,
there you go.
Super light. There we go.
There it is.
There it is. Look at that.
Yeah, that's not 7. In my mind, I thought this was a 9. I'm like, it's a 9 all day long. No.
Autographs are tricky too because
Yeah,
they
but-
grade surface, so
Yeah.
they're always really more. Yeah, look at that.
But for
Identical
these
to-
cards, to me, a 7. I mean, he held them and signed them.
Yeah,
like,
I don't care about the grade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're buying the card.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, not for
Check
this
out-
experience.
Check out the placement of the stamp on that one. Differed quite a bit. It's not
It
always
did.
in the bottom right corner.
Okay.
Is it usually there though?
No, we have enough
Okay,
data
sorry.
points here. We have enough data points here to determine that right here.
Oh God, I'm so excited.
This is not just one or two. This is not one or two. Okay, here we go. This one is 5. Okay, this one. Okay, this one. Someone in PSA hates me, unless there's some kind of like ultraviolet light that like detected just like I don't know who knows what on this card. I mean, I can't. I wish I could show you. Like, look, that
The
corner's perfect.
centering.
How's that? How's that
Yeah.
corner? Awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
I know you can't tell. Again, another awesome corner. I'm telling you, there is nothing wrong with this card. The centering's a little
So-
off. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the centering a little bit. It still looks so good, man.
Here, there's the stamp, bottom right. Right.
Mm.
Wow, that stamp.
Yep. The stamp says, what does it say?
Stamp is surface damage, right? Like that's what he's thinking.
No, so I asked Neo that after I got these back. I emailed Neo. I'm like, hey, dude, I'm new to this. Is it possible that I got some new grader that dinged these for the stamp? Like, is that possible?
Is that a thing? Yeah.
I can't remember if it says certified autograph or what. It
Authentic
says something, but it has an X in the
certification.
middle too. If you see that, there's an X.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that for
So
sure.
have you guys seen that image of that Gambit card on Blowout?
Yeah,
Yes.
That stamp's not even the right stamp. Not even the right font.
yeah. We were
Not
talking
even the
about
right
this sketch
size.
pack.
If you go look at that, it's the wrong stamp entirely. And somebody's saying that this was
What did
weird.
I tell you? Didn't I tell you, Elusive, that there were fake stamps out there?
Yeah, you did mention that.
Wow.
It wasn't even, not even the right one. Okay, sorry. This is Storm. Great signature, nice diagonal. Look at that.
Yeah, I love how he positioned the auto to mirror
He did great.
Storm's
He did
great.
position on the card.
It's the
Here we
perfect.
go.
It's the perfect
Mint
pen
8.
thickness and everything.
All right, yeah. Okay, sketch card's gonna go offline for a few seconds, and if
No,
it
I'm
looks
not.
like it's being-
No, I'm not. It ends in an hour.
All right.
I'm not even going to buy it. I'm just
Okay.
watching it.
So this was my highest grade. This was mint 8.
Wow.
So yeah, and I haven't checked to see how this one's comparing. So when I first started submitting these, there was I think 6 auto cards on the pop count total, and now I think there's 18. But okay, here we go. Here's an intro. Look at that stamp placement on cable.
Whoa.
Way high.
Cable.
Mm.
Wow.
Are they stamping they're stamping after the auto, so you should see some of the stamping.
I imagine, yeah. Somebody got a
signature,
little
right?
wet and wild. Well, somebody got wild with these stamps. Again, this one.
mean,
let's look
if-
at the condition.
If it was the first batch of 2000, I'm sure they were just going down the line at one point.
Mhm.
So this one 6, and again, I cannot tell you how awesome the edges and corners are on these cards. I got the most brutal grading of all time.
You could always send them to BGS and get higher grades.
Or wait for CGC.
I have a BGS
And
card. we're
get
gonna look at.
higher grades.
Stop it.
Okay, this one has.
That was funny. I forgot to laugh.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Oh, here we go. We're back.
Forgot to laugh.
Here we go. I'm going to show you something annoying about
Wow. 7.
So, I'm going to show you something really annoying about my OCD.
That's
My
beautiful.
camera's kind of cutting off. One sec. Stamp on that one right there in the corner. Boom.
Mhm.
I'm getting good at hitting that stamp. Look at that.
You are.
You are, dude. Fire.
Like this is the kind of stuff. Oh, okay. My phone overheated. I think it's.
You got too confident there. You got
Yeah.
too confident. You're
No,
doing just well.
I did. I might have to go tell the kids. I have 4 kids. They're probably all taking a few megabytes of download speed all at once. But I might need to. Okay, I'll show this one. This one is not even that great to look at. This is a BGS card I got on eBay.
Oh, yeah. I
And-
got that one.
Yeah, I got this one. The case is totally hashed, and I had this one on. It might even be on sale right now, but I'm not trying to pump that. I have a ridiculous price on this just because I don't really care to sell these, and
You
it's
won't
like
sell that Magneto though.
I do. Yeah.
Look at just
Um, Okay, let me show you what the most annoying thing about this. You guys are gonna laugh, but I think it would drive you guys nuts too. Okay, wouldn't it be
Yeah.
cool to display these, right? To display these all on your, okay, here, look, here's team gold, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put that away. Here's Wolverine. What's different?
Colors.
The cards turned wrong.
Yeah, it's
Inverted.
turned. What? No, it's so annoying.
Yeah,
Why?
you probably should just sell the Wolverine too.
Yeah.
Why?
You give the Magneto to Spidey.
Why
Yeah,
did they do that?
Actually, that might be better because
Okay,
the grades
I
are
like,
on
I
this-
like what you're doing. You're
yeah,
so
he's
think about it.
working and
Like,
he's working.
if you get those Ultra Pro little stands and you put them right next in a glass case, at least the grades are on either side, so it's even more symmetrical.
It works there because it's they're
It's
horizontal.
true.
so-
You're like, this problem? It's actually an opportunity.
I see. There you go. If not,
But why
Spidey
not
and
be
I-
consistent?
Elusive will help.
Yeah, you won't be able to see it from my house, so it won't bother you.
You won't be able to see
Let me fiddle with my camera and get this going again. We'll look
bunch
at
of
some other cards.
vultures we are.
He's ignoring me.
Nobody wants
He's
to
like,
see
I
my
got
front.
nothing.
All right. Maybe I'll try just holding this.
Interesting.
It's crazy how we were just talking about the sketch card. About
Yeah.
all these things.
I know, wasn't that insane? Well, it's funny because Elusive showed it to me, and I was like, I've only ever seen one, so it has to be the same one. He showed it to me, and it wasn't, and I was like,
The centering was off.
man, maybe Gambit is official, but
Right.
yeah, but at least you're telling me the stamp was wrong, which makes me feel better because oh god,
Okay, this is a different type.
yeah,
This
that's
is a
Comic
Comics
Images.
Express card.
Yeah,
We're going to talk about Comics Express cards here for a second. 1 second.
So that means these are not pack pulled. That's what
Yep.
you're saying. Though,
These are
right?
not pack pulled.
Okay.
These are like Comic-Con signing kind of thing. He did a series.
Yeah, so
Sketch card, go for it.
I'm so sorry. I'm
No,
dragging over
that's
here.
why you're here.
No, I just had the sealed one with the gold things on it, the case that comes with the 2 autos and the possible hologram. You have that, right, Scandell?
Which one?
So you know how these came in the sealed case?
Yes.
From-
with the little
right?
Jimmy photo on the top with the gold stamp.
Yes, with the COA and then the 2 gold things. Yeah. I think were these signed at the same convention that you have that press release from?
I don't know. I don't think so. But I don't think so. That's a lot. That's a big day for a famous artist. I can tell you that. I don't see
Yeah, I
him
agree.
making a press release then also sitting down signing
doing
2,000
that.
cards.
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
gosh, my
Well, that
camera's-
says 28 of 100, but is that just of Shadowcat?
Yeah.
That's
I don't
what I
know.
thought. Is that true, Scandal?
What? Say that again.
So, like Spidey asked, so for Shadowcat, because it says 28 out of 100, does that mean there's 100 Shadowcats signed?
No clue. And I don't think so because again, I've had these eBay searches going for almost 20 years now. It's 2001. It's almost been 20 years since I've had these things going. And I have never seen the same card come up. I think it's 2 sets that he signed. 2 full sets of 100 cards.
Hmm.
So on the COA though, it says 5,000.
Oh, that's true. But then why
So
does it
I
say why
have-
does it say oh. So you think
See-
he picked 50 of the best characters and then there's no way.
I think I have a couple of friends who are making a full set who are close. So there are doubles, A.
Yes.
B, I imagine 5,000. Does the math work out? Every card out of 100? Does that add up to 5,000? I don't
Not
know.
at 100 apiece. It's a lot. That's a lot more. That's
See, so
10,000.
carry the zero.
It's
that's right.
10,000.
I'm sorry, I'm an idiot.
That's why I was saying they took the
Um,
best. Like who wants who wants a bunch of Mojo cards signed? I don't care.
I've seen Mojo. I've
Yeah,
seen
let's say, I
Warpath.
think I've seen Mojo.
I've seen Warpath. I've seen the same cards bounce around the same people
You haven't got the
for
Gambit?
years now. I've seen Imperial Guard, Alondra. Is that her name? Alondra?
Yes, Lalandra.
Yeah, Lalandra. I've seen these same cards.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's-
he only did certain characters. Maybe you're right. Because it seems 5,000. Like, and he did holograms for that too. Like out of 3 of them had a hologram signed by him, but not numbered.
Yes. I don't have any of the holograms with me here. 1 second. I'm gonna go really quick and just tell my fam to
There's
do a puzzle.
There's
Go do a
only so
puzzle or
much
something.
internet in Utah, and we need to
Exactly.
concentrate it right here.
It's a drought. There's a drought going on. One second. One second.
That's
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
No worries.
Okay,
So for
buddy.
those who don't know, we've got buddies in Utah, and we jump online with them all the time, and some of their internet in Utah is just not the best. So it's a little inside joke.
Yeah, man, that's awesome, right? When you focus on like one set like that.
Yeah, what's that
Oh.
phrase? What you focus on expands.
Oh, that's a cool one. I never heard that.
Or where your
Yeah,
focus goes,
windstorm,
your energy flows.
CCG.
Yeah. All right, we got 2 phrases. What's yours?
All right. I have some questions before I turn on. I'm gonna let my camera kind of rest a little bit, and I have some questions first.
Ooh, I got another one, Sketch Hard. What you collect collects.
Oh, damn, man, you're on fire.
Are you guys thinking of catchphrases, or
Yeah.
are you each gonna have a catchphrase?
Well, yeah. we just did it right here. We got 3 of them.
We were
I
just
think
trying
you
to
should do
keep-
like a cheesy intro where you all kind of like are doing something, then you turn to the camera,
Right.
and then you're like, and then smile, and then your knee, and then it says your catchphrase underneath.
Like the old 90s sitcom where you're like walking through the house and you pause and you smile at the camera.
Oh yeah.
So this is I'm gonna take a few minutes to let my camera kind of cool down, and this is what I want to talk about. So this set, unique art from top tier Marvel talent, so awesome. I think it's unique to this set alone. I don't collect the masterpiece cards for a few reasons, mostly because they are, even as a kid, I was looking at those and I'm like, those look like paintings. Like, how do paintings apply to my comic book reading? And I feel like the Marvel masterpiece sets were so successful, it set a lot of the direction and the tempo for many, many, many precursor, following sets after that. And nice quality art doesn't look like comic book art, which I have a little bit of an issue with. So my question is this. So, okay, we've had set after set after set coming out every year. And I asked you guys this question on your podcast last week. I said, with all these sets coming out every year, how, and there's no more, no cards or no characters are retiring, when does this end? How does this end? Does it just keep going? You guys had really great answers. But what I want to ask is, does Marvel not invest in good artists to put out these sets? Are these sets not financially lucrative for Marvel? And why isn't it a priority to get the top talent? And here's the second part of the question. How come X-Men, for your Ultra X-Men, had amazing art like this?
Yeah.
From David Nakayama. Is that his name? I think so. David Nakayama. Awesome. And he did like all of these great SIG cards. These are the SIG cards of that set. Trying to get the glare to, and my brain does not work inversely. But this is custom art made for the card.
Right.
And you can tell the difference between this custom art made for a card. I'm going to throw some shade here. Stuff like this.
Oh, God. He picked the
What
worst
is this? What is this? And how is this card in the same set as this?
Yeah.
How do these look? How is this a thing? And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of cards in this set I love. Don't get me wrong, I love a lot of the cards.
I mean, I can give you a semi-intelligent answer that will not satisfy you. The high series is intended to be basically a first appearance, regardless of the quality of the art. And whoever Richter is, that's apparently it. So, but it should have never made it in the set.
These are just page scan grabs from a comic book.
Yeah, no, this is not original art at all. But the high series is intended to be pretty close to a first appearance or first cover appearance art.
Yeah. Like, I think you can, I guess, as an artist myself, I like to look at the art, and I'm really into who did it and the quality of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at the most successful PMGs out there, and they're all the ones that have great art. Like, there's no doubt. Like, the Miles Morales is amazing. A lot of the Spider-Mans are amazing. The Spider-Gwen, awesome. The Magneto, awesome. Hulk, awesome. Iron Man, Cap. All these great cards. You look at some of the weaker selling ones, the ones that aren't as in demand. It's bad art.
Yeah.
It's 9 out of 10. It's 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. It's bad art. Even like top level characters done by a bad artist thrown into a PMG.
Yeah, the 2013 Phoenix is like one of the worst.
Yeah,
and she's an amazing character.
Mary Jane, What?
Oh gosh, that's so bad. Yeah.
Mary Jane Gold is on eBay right now. Nobody wants it.
Mm-mm. Nobody's rainbow.
Here's the question: why does nobody want it?
It's art. Yeah.
Art.
Not because it's not Mary Jane. Look at that Mary Jane behind you by J. Campbell Scott.
There's a beautiful
J. Scott
Mary
Campbell.
Jane.
There you go.
J. Scott Campbell.
It's
There's
getting
a
late.
beautiful-
I need some coffee.
There's a beautiful Mary Jane in Fleer Ultra Spider-Man 2017. That's just gorgeous. Of her like walking down the alley. It's like she's like, and Spidey's like swinging in between the buildings. I think it's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful piece. It does matter about the art. Luce and I were just talking about this too. Like what's gonna set everything apart at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And yeah. And art, like you said something really great, elusive, about art, about it's going to be the pieces that people flock to the most is the most important thing to be watching for people right now is to understand, okay, everyone looks at this and considers this a big deal piece. People always flock to this particular card and this sort of thing. And that kind of like sets them apart. You know what I mean? All increases price too.
Yeah. Well, a hint is kind of like we were mentioning just this Sunday where, you don't need to be a character collector to like the Double Impact Surfer, right? Because that's good art going back to this whole point, right? So you just get pieces like you saw that Nightcrawler I just posted. That's a Nightcrawler. But how good is the art on that Nightcrawler? Right? So that's what I'm gravitating towards myself is the artwork myself. So I agree with everything Scandal, and I have the same questions you have, sir.
Yeah,
I've asked these questions of people who've worked on these sets. I've asked these questions to Upper Deck in so many ways. We've had many people ask these questions to Upper Deck. I think you're right, Scandal, that it's not very profitable for people, for Upper Deck to make these sets and to hire artists that are high tier in the sense that they're actual comic book artists. I mean, Marvel Universe Series 1, they walked around the Marvel office and basically got everybody who was working on the comic books at that time to draw for the set.
Yeah.
The very first Marvel card set from Marvel, that's how they did it. Even Comic Images, they pulled all of the best artwork and then they stenciled and colored it for the final cards. You know what I mean? But I for me, that's why I'm a huge fan of Marvel Masterpieces 2018, which a lot of people, have mixed feelings about, but Simone Bianchi is a actual comic book artist. You know what I mean? He works on interiors, he works on covers, he does stories. Like he's a Marvel comic book artist. So when you look at some of those pieces, you get just a lot of story. Mm-hmm. And it's not that these other pieces don't have stories, and it's not, I'm not crapping on anybody's work at all. I just think that there needs to be more stuff. Scandal's like I am. I just think there needs to be more of that area for Marvel cards.
Yep.
Let me breeze through some of these other SIGs I haven't sent off yet. All right, it's just to make everybody mad,
You're in line.
I knew you had it.
Have you heard of PSA's new office in North Louisiana?
Let me give you the address. Don't look it up. I promise
don't look it up.
Yeah. Let's, okay, so I'm not going to tell you what I sent over, but
these are the hardest boxes.
I don't know how to open these. Am I stupid?
I tell you, I would open them before getting on camera because they're just so painful to open if you're not.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Amateur. So I sent off 6 cards. Again, batch 2. Batch 2, in theory, had better quality cards. And again, my strategy was submit mediocre cards the first time around, hoping I get some gift grades. Because I don't know why. I thought maybe that has made sense. I think back and I don't know if that made sense.
It sounded good to me when you said it.
Well, if you were submitting the cards that hadn't been, graded before, you may have created such a nice low baseline that your other cards are going to be viewed more superior.
What if these were all rejected or something? Is that a thing? I don't even know. This is my second PSA submission of all time. You saw the results of the first.
So what's the end goal for you? If, like you mentioned, you love these so much, and I totally get it. I see why. I see the appeal. But what's the end goal of holding so many of them?
What's my angle?
Yeah.
this is just what I chose to collect. I don't know. Like this is the only rare thing I typically collect, and I've always done it. It's almost like I had such a huge intro to it with this one purchase so long ago that it just kind of fueled like an online obsession. And they don't come up that frequently, so it's kind of like a game. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, it was like maybe one every 2 years. I'm serious. Like, and sometimes they'd come up. There's one right now. There's a Wolverine on there right now. Anybody watching the stream can go buy it. There's actually two. There's my $5,000 one, which I would not recommend buying. And then there's also an $850 one that has horrible corners and looks bad.
Really bad. Really bad.
So to review, and again, I haven't looked at the I'm dying to do this. I'm shaking because I haven't looked at the pop report. I have, again, my highest grades thus far is an 8. My lowest is a 5. This Magneto, which again, there's zero wrong with this card, except somebody out there hates me. Like, I don't know how you get to. I don't know what a 10. Does a 10 have to glow? I don't know. All right, so we have. There's the new submission cards. Is this a good angle? No, it's bad angle.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right, let's go before the phone drops.
I know, right? Okay, here we go. We got Magneto.
I'm so excited.
I know. Do I put my thumb up here, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Great signature.
Centering looks good on that.
Yeah,
it does.
that one's glowing. I can see it.
I feel a little glow.
That's an 8. At least an 8.
I want, yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, good job, man. A 9.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's got to feel good.
So for those of you that don't know, and don't. Oh no! It's the camera will come back. It's building a lot of anticipation.
It does.
I know, but I got to sign off in a minute.
Oh no! Okay, so I'll show this one again. There we go. 9.
We'll fill you in.
Yeah, I'm
fantastic.
gonna come back and watch.
It actually doesn't
Just
look that bad.
text me the address to the new PSA headquarters.
Yeah,
I can
I'll get
manage
that
it.
to you.
I'm getting some decent focal there, right?
You really are.
It looks good on this camera. It doesn't
All
look
right.
bad at all.
I got to tell you, I might just ditch the other one because of technical difficulties. First time streamer. All right.
I think this looks great, man.
That's awesome.
Wow.
9. Holy cow.
Congratulations, bro. That's a huge deal.
Right.
I don't think there's any 10s.
That has to be a pop 1. Like
Yeah, but
that.
that signature looks so good on that 9 too, man.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
right down the
check
middle.
for you.
Should we compare signatures? Let's want to compare.
Yeah.
Don't check yet. Don't check the pop.
I'm not shocking. I'm not looking. I lied. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're gonna check the pop after this because the pop has all these cards are on there.
Yeah, I mean the signatures
So
are good on both.
scary.
Yeah.
I can't see why one
Like, why
is
would
a
you
5
care?
and one's a 9.
Yeah, I just would not
Me neither.
care. See, for like those cards, they're so hard to find that grade doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I think they're impossible to find. I know people have a few of them. I know there's at least 10 collectors out there who are very serious about collecting.
All right, I got some controversial cards here, guys. So this is gonna be awesome.
Oh, God.
Okay, let's see. Am I covering the right? Okay, here we go. Number 2.
Oh, I love that card.
I know this card again. I think the highest right now is a 7. Here we
Come
go.
on, 8 or 9.
Centering. What do we think? It's off a little bit.
Centering is off. Is
8.
8.
8. Okay.
That's better than my other one, which is a 7. So
Yeah.
Oh, well,
upgrade.
there you go. You got the good grader this time.
I know.
And the card's positioned the exact same way as the other one.
Is that how it
There
works?
you go.
Did you feel like when you get like is during a whole submission, are you going to get better grades because you got a better grader or a worse?
They say that's what
different.
it is. I wouldn't doubt it. People make errors. People make mistakes and not mistakes.
Okay. See, I did it. Guess what?
You
Okay,
did it,
don't
yeah.
look. Did you look? Oh no, wait. Which side is it on?
I didn't see it. I
Yeah,
can't see it.
Still
'cause of the
can't see
camera.
it.
Wow.
Okay.
That was nice.
Sick
though.
looks awesome.
Look at the centering.
Centering's pretty good. Maybe an 8 or a 7.
I mean, if you get an 8, that's awesome.
9.
9.
9.
Wow.
Wow. Totally too hard on that one. A Wolverine 9.
Hard to
Wow.
gauge the quality in the.
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wolverine 9.
Yeah, that's a high. That's a pop high. That's the
Man,
highest.
I bet you don't need that 7 anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Why keep it
You don't
5?
need that 7 anymore.
All right, you guys.
Wow.
Okay, I'll do this one last. I'm not looking at them, by the way. I'm looking at them when you guys see them. Okay, which one should we do? Here we go. Controversial card. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, White Queen.
Oh my gosh, I'm way off.
There, you're good.
Oh, that one looks super clean.
Yes.
Wow.
See if we can get the
Centering
stamp.
is awesome. Yeah.
We get the stamp going. I don't think on this camera we can.
No, I don't think so.
So the stamp's on there. That's interesting.
10.
10. Yep. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that one looked too clean.
Oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
dude!
That's amazing, man.
Okay,
Wow.
I will. I'm gonna get. Okay, the camera is working. Should I get that? Let's do this. Holy cow! Oh my gosh.
That's a major card.
This one. Okay, I got to tell you guys. I was like 10, 11. I'm an 11-year-old boy. I think a lot of us had the same experience with this card when we were 11-year-old.
Yeah, like where are her pants? That is so
This card
unmodest.
we're hiding. This is the card we hide. I'm sorry, but that's just the fact. Again, she's not wearing much. She's next to a fireplace, and
She's in the Hellfire Club, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Is that
Taking
what
over
she
the
is,
world.
Jess,
Yeah,
Heidi?
absolutely. She's definitely in the Hellfire Club.
Yeah, she
and
is.
she's in my Hellfire Club in my
For
display
any,
right
for
beside
any
me.
parents that are wondering, yeah,
That's
she is.
awesome.
She is a bad guy.
Yeah.
At this time, especially. And the crossover. Okay, here we go. Oh, well, okay. I got some bad guys.
Wow, she looks good. By the way, Spider, those action figure next to the card, dude, you are so good at posing them. Like they're so great, coming out so well.
I can't wait to pose my Magneto next to my Jim Lee auto.
I'm trying to. You guys see how crap this camera? Oh, wait, it's back. There it is.
Oh,
There it
it's
is.
back,
Here we
it's
go.
back. Wow.
I don't even
how
see
did
the
you
stamp.
do that?
I don't
How
even see the
did
stamp.
you do that?
I gotta see the stamp in real life. Where is this? Oh, it's low.
It's low.
Yeah, sorry.
How interesting.
What's that? It's coming. I'm gonna find the angle.
I saw the edge of the
I saw the edge of it, yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
All right.
And that's the same stamp as the other ones, the official ones.
Yes.
So
I got
you know
same purchase, same buy, same seller. So he purchased them. This is you guys have probably. I have a big ad on eBay for my other ones. Again, I throw out crazy prices for. Yeah, these are just like you never know who's out there. Well, you guys always talk about it. You know, there's some whales in this hobby, and you know I'm not gonna sell a collection that has very few of them in existence. You know, to anybody. But yeah, so this he's the situation was he said he purchased them from somebody that worked at Fleer. This was back in 2000. Are you guys frozen? No, you're there.
no, we're here.
Yeah,
Continue
back in
this one.
2004. And he had a binder of them. These were all in the same 9 sheet. There was 2 sheets. I can only afford some of them. Here we go.
Rogue.
If you pull
That one's out. No, that one's out. OC. That's
Stamp.
A 9.
Check
That's
out the
a 9.
stamp.
I see
Stamp
it.
is nice.
Stamp is nice.
I'm gonna say 8 or a 9.
10.
Yeah, you got a 10. I think it's the angle that he's holding it in is making you
Oh,
think.
Sorry,
it's
I'm
a
so
20.
sorry.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Golly.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
I think the
That
greater
rogue is
favored
huge.
the ladies. I'm just gonna say
Also,
that.
maybe I gave him a gift. Maybe he's like, hey,
Hey. Yeah.
No, I think your original strategy worked on sending the lower quality ones first.
well, I don't know. These ones are the only ones on there. Pop ones. That's why.
This is historical. Like this is a kind of a big deal. Because for a long time, and I've seen various characters
Last one.
who weren't in there.
Oh,
That's the image for me.
Me too. Blue
That's-
team is the best.
Yeah. So okay, in one of my upcoming videos, I've already recorded it. I have a gold team versus blue team debate, and it takes a lot of their power ratings, and you can
Oh.
literally find
That's
out
exciting.
who's
I'm
the
really
stronger
excited to
team.
watch that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
excited to watch that.
Okay, if this is my favorite card in the set. This set. Okay, we can compare these two. Let's talk about before. Okay, I got to see the
That's a
grade. I
9
got to see
or
the grade.
8.
Yeah, let's see the great verse.
This I don't know. The centering looks good.
It's a little high.
9.
Yeah.
Nine.
Oh, it is
That's okay.
high. It is high.
that's huge.
That's 9. Wow.
It could be a 2. I wouldn't give it. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Wow.
That's not
okay,
one
so
of the 5
you
cards.
guys won't believe. I would love to ship these cards to you, but I wouldn't because I'd never get them back. But
That's true.
just so you can see the first batch of cards compared to this batch, They're similar, very similar in quality.
Yeah,
Oh,
they are.
okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
at some point you're going to have to take a calculated risk of should you crack them, but probably not send them to PSA. I've got to run,
Oh.
and this has been extraordinary.
Oh, that's awesome.
I hope people really understand how special these cards are, and especially those 10s, the grades that you got on those.
They're amazing.
For
I
someone
can't
to,
believe it.
for
I was
someone to
thinking-
handle the card and sign them and stamp and still get a 10.
So I was like, I was a wreck when I got the first PSA submission. I was so moody and mad about that. I was so this is my first submission ever. I'm like, yeah, my cards came. I'm gonna open them. And I opened them and I saw that Magneto out of 5, and I thought, I'm one of those dumb people that Neo keeps talking about, where you know all these amateur people sending in cards thinking that they're awesome, and it happened to me. I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those guys that sent it. But I mean, I knew it was a rare card anyway. So okay, I want to bring open. Let's open up the pop, and then we'll end this thing. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice, man. Congrats. Those are awesome.
I know.
Dude,
I'm
congrats.
shaking. I'm shaking.
Major congrats.
I knew those ones were nice. I thought the centering was good, but again, 5 Magneto. I was thinking 8 or 7. Oh my gosh.
Rogue and white green out of 10. Wow.
Wow. Share screen. Sorry, newbie here.
Oh,
You guys, I'm sure you guys have read this. You guys read the article about this, I'm sure. They did a great article on this whole set on PSA.
That is a great, yeah.
It's a good read. It's not this one, but it's somewhere around here. There's a link to it. Anyway, pop. So when I submitted them, there was 8 autograph cards. That was when I did the first one. So I sent 12 myself. So that's 20. So six other cards have rolled in.
Okay.
And there's a ton of 10s in the base set. I mean, 543, that's pretty good. But again, last year this number was a fraction of that.
There's more 10s than there is 9s.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
This
easy grade.
The set came out of the pack really clean. Like it
Yeah.
really,
So
really
I should tell you this story as well. I called PSA, didn't get a hold of them before I submitted them. I sent them an email trying to ask them questions about my submission, because I asked them, I'm like, because you guys might have seen this, but there's a whole separate designation for the hollows for the set on the pop count for some reason. It's not even like part of the set. It's just like an additional thing.
It's an additional thing. It's weird.
Yeah. So I asked them, I'm like, am I gonna, what will the label say on these? Because I don't want it just to be like autographed by Hootie Who. I don't, these were insert cards. These were chase cards. Is there any designation between like a Stan Lee signing this card now or Jim Lee signing this card now and the ones that were actually packed and inserted? And I didn't get a clear answer.
No, it's
Oh,
because they don't have anybody who's an expert there working
Yeah.
there. They're
Yeah.
messing up. Can
So
you take off the comment on the thing?
Sorry. Yeah.
You're good. I just didn't want to block in a little.
Should I zoom in? Yeah. That didn't work.
No, you're good. You're good.
That's better.
Wow,
I'm
that's
good, but
better.
that's better. So I don't know. Okay, I don't know what this beast card is. First of all, it's a 10, and it's an autograph, but it doesn't say any autograph under it. I don't know what this is. Number 2. Okay, we got. I have the 7 and 9 of the Wolverines. I have both Wolverines that have been graded thus far, and I have 2 more to grade and the BGS. Iceman, don't know what this card is. It's a 9, signed by who knows who. So I guess I'm not familiar enough with PSA, and maybe some of our viewers, and please leave in the comments if you know more about how PSA does this. But if Stan Lee signed one of these cards and it got shoved in front of him, and somebody submitted it to PSA, does that show up here?
They should be putting pack pulled on there, and they should know the stamps, but they don't. They don't care. Like, honestly, no one gave a crap about these, man.
I hate hearing that. I hate hearing that.
I'm sorry, but it's true. It's awful. It's really awful, but no one cared to categorize these properly and to do the research, because they don't have an expert on Marvel cards there.
Yep,
And that's going to
true.
bite them. That's going to bite them, because when CGC, if they ever do Marvel cards and they hire someone who's an expert, if they're ahead of the game like that, it's over.
Well, you saw that's what they did on the Pokemon side, right? They hired
Exactly.
people that knew what they were talking about.
So the
Right?
storm. But how did they evolve from the old bad info to the new good? Actually, no people with. How do they evolve? Do they go back and ask for people to resubmit?
Well, they're probably gonna like if any other gradings, if PSA ever like cares to throw some money at it, then they'll hire people who are experts, and then they'll probably have to categorize this or just leave them as is. I
Mm,
don't know. I don't know how they'll ever amend that. I think it would come from like a new grading company doing it right from the word go,
yeah.
just to make sure it's all squared away.
All right. Here we have Storm autograph. I have the 8 highest grade. Awesome. Thanks. Me. But then there's one that's just off. I don't know what this means. What does this
That's
mean?
authenticated, so it's not an official signature. So it might be a
Somebody
con.
submitted it just to be authenticated but not graded.
Correct.
Exactly.
Got it. Gambit. I don't know who has this card. It's a 5, and this one's a Jim Lee autograph. But is it a silver pen? Is it a gold pen? Is it? Who knows? These guys don't know what they're doing. Like
Yeah.
you're starting to freak me out.
It's true though.
All right.
It's painfully true.
All right. Cable. I have the only
Wow, look at the rogue. Oh my god.
Yeah.
10.
Boom.
10 and a 5.
Rogue. Okay, Okay, the Shatter Star again. Now I feel like I've seen an image of this card before
Me too.
floating out there. I think it was
I
in
think
that
you're
scene
right.
blowout for him.
I think I know which one. I think I know where it is. I'm surprised it's graded though, so it might be a different one.
All right, so what is this Magneto without the Jim Lee autograph for a 9? I don't know. No idea.
Yeah.
Jim Lee autograph. Okay, we got a Magneto Jim Lee autograph. You know, I have the 9, just got that, and the 7. No, and the 5. My friendly 5.
Your
The
friendly
most harsh 5 of all time.
Yeah, seriously.
I cannot tell you. I might send that card to you guys just to get you guys to amp up the what the hell.
I'd like to see if there was something on surfing or really bad white edging. There has to be something. If not, they messed up because the corners look too clean.
Yeah, White Queen 10. Boom.
Wow.
Okay, look, look at Deadpool. I Deadpool and Sabretooth. Jim Lee autograph. You think these are not cataloged correctly?
They're not. I think the Deadpool might be comic image. It might be the Comic Express because I've seen I've seen that Deadpool. I know that comes from there because I've seen it.
I have
That's
no
awesome,
comment.
though.
Let's just say I have no comment about the Deadpool as far as other cards out there. X-Men Blue.
Oh, there it is.
9. I was hoping that one would be a 10. That would be the crown of my forever collection, but it's fine. Just because it's my favorite card. I got the pornographic White Queen 10, which is cool, but she's just ready for I don't know what her powers were. I knew her powers. I had a firmer grasp of her powers than any other power when I was 10. I was like, I think I get what's
awesome about the whole story for me, and what sticks out personally, is the fact that all this stemmed from a guy that you met, and which had a large holding of these.
Yes,
of
so
these
he
cards.
was
That's
trying
awesome,
he was trying to sell them to another card collector that actually had a booth. Oh no, we lost Sketch Card. We lost his auto. He's still there, I think.
Yeah. He's
what was that guy wasn't buying them, and I was just there at the right time. And he said he had just shown up for the show, and then he was taken off, and I was like, okay, this is awesome. But at that time, I didn't understand the significance of the rarity.
Mm-hmm.
I only knew that I liked the cards that I picked from the multiple pages. But
that's crazy, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you collect anything else other than that? Other than those signatures?
Well, yeah, that's a good question.
As far as Marvel cards.
Well, I collected I did get into the Marvel 2018, but mostly for the 92 signature cards, for the ones I just showed, the David Nakayama, because I think the art's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know why you left. No comment. And I should be checking that out as well, but whatever. It's not my character. And I don't collect a whole lot else.
You don't collect
I'm like I'm a one-trick pony with these Marvel cards, with these X-Men cards.
It's because since you mentioned Miles, I thought you might collect Miles.
I purchased my first PMG last week off eBay, and it was
nice.
more than I wanted to spend on it. But I wanted something, and I am interested in PMGs, especially the ones with the nice artwork. But I feel like I just missed the ship. I like the 2013 retro set the best. Those look amazing.
Yeah, those are the best.
But I'm just literally like drooling over them, and I can't afford them. And yeah, that's, there's a lot of great characters from that one. Iron Man and Cap and She-Hulk. Her auction's ending here soon.
Nice, dude. Those are awesome. Yeah, I've been looking. I think we spoke before, by the way. We spoke through eBay though.
Did we? Did you? Oh,
yeah.
Did you? Was I mean? I might have been mean. I have a mean eBay persona. I'm always kind of like, why? What do you want? You're bothering me for my card? No. I'm a little bit like, oh, these cards here. Oh, these are mine.
These guys.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what I posted them for, right?
Yeah. Well, what Elusive was saying. Elusive asked me when you left, is like, do I collect anything else? And the answer is a resounding no. I just bought my first PMG last week on eBay, and I spent a lot of money on it. And I'm not going to tell you which one it was because I probably overpaid. But it's hard to say if we're overpaying right now. It's hard. The FOMO is huge, and the you just worry like, oh well, these are forever going to be identified as being multi-$1,000 cards from here on out. So
yeah, it's done. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Let me kind of close on one of these sentiments. Is that I've been spending 2020 money on these cards for 10 or 12 years now. Like I've been spending like $500 a card on these for a long time. Buy it now, no negotiation. I don't care. And now I would have thought that with my history, okay, maybe I wasn't really consciously trying to pump it up, but with my track record of buying these cards at high rates, I'm surprised there wasn't a huge price bump on these. I think
because people don't know. People don't know, man. Like it's bad. Like I was telling you, Elusive and I always have these combos, like early morning 2-hour combos about
early for you, late for me.
Early for me. That's right. Late for Elusive. And it's really painful. It's really painful because there's not a lot of information out there. I keep telling people this, not to pump or FOMO or anything, but PMGs are not the big cards.
No.
Like I know right now everyone sees them as the grails, and forever they will be. That's over. Like you can't pretend.
It's game over. It's game over.
It's done. It's grails, but there will be cards up there that will get at the same level as PMGs, and the Jim Lee autos. Not to pump anything. I'm not pumping anything. I hope people who are listening know this. The Jim Lee autos have always been important. Always. Just like the PMGs, when the PMGs first came out, everybody knew that was gold. That's why there's hardly any 2013 Flair retro boxes. They don't exist. Because everybody knew when they saw it come out, they're like, nope, this is gold. And they bought it up.
And that's surprising. Also, Skandel, you were mentioning that you didn't really like the more artsy, I guess you could say, right, from '92 Marvel Masterpieces. But since you've been collecting for so long, what made you skip out on the 2013 Flair retro? Because a lot of their artwork was more comic based, right?
Yeah, I just wasn't reading. I had, again, 4 kids. I've been my daughter just went to college last year, and I've been life kind of took. I work a lot. I work in the animation industry. I worked at DreamWorks for 10 years, Sony for 10 years, and Google for 2 years. And I have my own animation studio, Studio Zubio, here in Utah. I'm the owner and studio director of it. And I just have been busy. Like, that's why, I have to tell you, like, just kind of glancing at my eBay, want list, or a search list, or whatever you call them. Every day I glance at it, I'm like,
the blue dots.
It's literally just like something I've been doing, and I've just been doing it like meticulously. And again, I scored a few of them for like $50. I got them like within a few minutes after they were posted. Boom, I want it. But a lot of them I spent. I think the highest one I spent $1,000 on one in 2017, and I think it was that Wolverine 9 that I just pulled, that I just graded.
So that was definitely worth it, man.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I fear that these cards are like the one of one gold PMGs, where there's so few of them, and there's so little evidence of them that you can't really like it's hard to know how to evaluate.
Well, that's kind of like what me and you were talking about on eBay. I mentioned to you that we were talking about PMGs specifically, and I told you PMGs are always going to be around only because of the majority come from sports. So
recently, you and I were messaging last week. Yeah. All right.
And then I told you, I was like, I think you're right in the macro. I even mentioned that to you. I think that those are going to be unfortunately though, those are always going to be a niche or more for like a true Marvel collector that wants to get that deep into it personally. But you're right, by the way. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you're right. It's just that, I wish there was, we represented more than 10% of the collectors, in other words.
I think the thing that the gold cards have going for them is that there's a pyramid of collectability with that same image, that same card. You got gold, you got purple, you got green, you got blue, you got red, and there's like, even if you can't get to that higher echelon that you want, you can still be collectible and be in the game at a lower tier of the pyramid. But with the cards like this, like Sketchcard mentioned it last week on his thing, I think at my prodding is, again, 2,000 cards signed, 90% of the product opened by 10-year-olds, and these only launched in the first few shipments. Jim Lee left Marvel a few months later. It's not like they had him still signing stuff. They're not like, hey, sign some more, we'll insert more. No.
And that's probably why it was only for the few couple of shipments of the boxes, because he was leaving. So there was an exit plan already there. So it makes total sense why he didn't do it for the full run. Makes total sense.
Yeah, I've been collecting Sketchcard knows I've been going after the Comic Images original, right? His original.
I don't have that card. Yeah.
But we could talk about that.
I've passed on that card many times.
Yeah. I bet you have. No, look, I think, be honest, we were talking about artwork, right? If we look at both your autos and these, I think I would gravitate towards the ones you have. Absolutely. Not only is the artwork better, but I also think that the stamp sets it off. The stamp, the silver auto in the front.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. That this is the first actual rare chase card that Marvel put out that was in limited quantity, pack pushed, pack inserted, pack pulled. There wasn't anything that was that rare. Everything else was just kind of like just some fluff, some flair. Like, hey, Jim Lee did sign some cards in the predecessor set, which again was kind of like it was, to me, it looks like it's kind of just like a quick thing that they had an idea. Let's do it. Let's capitalize on X-Men. Let's capitalize on Jim Lee. Let's put out a quick set. This is the set that actually represents what he wanted it to be, I'm sure. But I don't see, Marvel Universe Series 1, there's just some hollows. They sold 350,000 boxes of that product, and those holograms are not rare. I know they're rare in grade 10. I want one in grade 10. I want all of them in grade 10. Don't get me wrong.
But that's what's making them rare now. Is that idealistic type of collecting.
There's enough little tendrils of possibility. Oh, I can maybe get the 6 or the 7, work my way up.
And that's what happens.
Like all or nothing.
Yeah.
All or nothing.
And even those cards where they made so many, they're not easy to grade. Even the pop reports now, they're growing in 10s, but they're not crazy like people thought they would be by now.
We have this conversation all the time.
Let's get that stamp going. Where's that stamp? While we're talking, keep talking. I'm going to find the stamp.
Well, me and Sketchcard talk about another card that I'm looking for as much as those cards, which is, another one with the same embossed stamp. And that's what, attracts you to it. That stamp is so nice. It's we're making sound here. No, you're good.
I'll tell you scandal later.
You can tell. I won't collect it. I only am into one thing.
No. It's not for you. It's so Elusive has a fighting chance to grab it before.
Correct.
Before we say so.
And that's why I brought up Scandal to tell you that even some cards that are up there with the ones you just showed, I'm looking for. But even if you're looking for it, it's still hard to find. Even if you're willing to pay what you're willing to pay, people are still not like, either I don't have one or I don't want to let it go, which it makes total sense.
There's a really nice gentleman on Facebook. He reached out to me yesterday when I posted because I joined a few more. I've been I've been in the shadows. Like I've been one of these. I'm a mega collector of this one set, and listening to your guys' podcast is what pulled me out of the shadows and said, I'm going to show what I have because nobody else is seeing this stuff, and nobody even. There's so much misinformation. There's so much misinformation about what's going on. And we again,
Yeah.
just to I should bring up. I have a whole tab here of all of the X-Men. Like there's so little information. Like this is what we're all going off of. Here we go. Share
It's
screen.
painful.
It's painful. This is
It
one
really
of.
is.
Oops, I'm showing. Am I showing us?
And you talked about that in Risk Conversation sketch card. You were like transparency.
Here we go.
It's bad,
Yeah.
man. And it's
There used to be 10 or 15 websites that looked like this that were just all text based and had information on them. Here we go.
And that
you know.
Endlist Jeff
Rogue, right?
site is what kind of put them all together, and that was the last of it.
There's a mention of an Imperial Guard and a Rogue here, and this guy is smart enough. I don't know who he is, but he does differentiate between the Comic Express sets here.
Yes.
He says 2,500 made. I think this is probably where you got your fact on that as well. This is where most people. This is the only info out there. But he did seem to think or know that there was autograph cards, and
we mentioned this. Remember sketch card? I was even telling you like how many kids pull that and went, I don't want this auto, right? And then you got Scandal over here selling it for $6, or I mean $60.
But to see that
right?
happened, a lot of people don't understand. But that even the auto we're talking about, that happened in that set too. I mean, honestly, there's a Stanley Auto Spider-Man hologram in the tin for 1991 Marvel Universe. I think it was 91, where the tin was heavy and it had the hologram and it was Stanley's signature on the back. It's not stamped. People don't know about it, and that card was discarded heavily. I've had a chance to grab it here and there. I haven't because I don't like it that's not stamped and stuff. Not that it's not important. I think it's a huge card, but who knows about that? People don't know. Mm-hmm. And it's because, look, this is true, and I don't mean anything by this scandal, but the truth is that there are a lot of scandal collectors out there who have very important, significant historical collections.
Yeah, I know. I believe you.
Who don't show because they're busy. They have stuff to do, or they're buying on the low because they're on their phone and they check it consistently, religiously, and they do their job, and they're great collectors. Like Scandal.
And we did it during the dry spell, the big dry spell. There's a 25-year dry spell almost. And
huge dry spell.
And look, and props to you, man, because you remind me of I bring him up all the time. S.M. Pratt, right? He was a huge collector of the Pikachu Illustrator. To your point, when no one gave a shit about that card, he was just paying whatever it took to get a copy of it, and that's what your passion has led you to this.
I still don't think there's a lot of people that give a shit about these cards. To be honest, like I think there's. Like honestly, I'd be lying if I do want to get more information out on the series. And somebody on Facebook did mention that there's an upcoming book regarding this specific series coming out. I don't know who's writing it. I don't know where it's from.
Oh, it's really exciting. Okay, yeah.
Well, interesting. I think that's really great.
Yes,
a lot of me wanting to put this out is literally like, okay, I have this valuable set that I only value, that I only know the contents of. How fun is that? If nobody thinks I'm special, I'm not.
But that's the most enjoyable thing, right? As long as you're enjoying your collection, that's the primary.
Well, no, it's true, but I've been enjoying this thing forever. And maybe by the time I'm 90, I'm trying to accumulate 50 more of them, and I'm just going to line them up.
It's looking like you want to spread the joy. That's what it's looking and hearing from my end. Are you looking to spread the joy? What are we saying here? Let's just be clear.
That's a great question. I don't know. Like, honestly.
Well, just sign me up. Put me on that list.
It's literally like I'd be walking around this planet aimlessly. I'd just start running like Forrest Gump and never stop. I don't know what else to do besides look at my eBay search for this set every day. And a lot of them I have passed on.
Wait a minute. Your set's a lot scarier than you're telling me.
What do you mean?
Oh, you dirty dog.
What?
Okay.
What?
No,
What?
I text you later. I just figured it out. I see what you got going on. Good stuff. You got the good collection there. The really good collection.
What are you talking about?
Okay. I caught him. See, Elusive, this is how you do it, man.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm crazy.
There may or may not be more cards in my collection. These are the ones I submitted to PSA, and these are the remaining promo cards I have that haven't been submitted.
You're an animator or a lawyer? Because your language is very.
I'm an animator. That's the thing, though. Like, I do agree that there's just a lot of people like me that we're working. I've been working 12-hour days in this industry for years, and I love working. I love sitting here at my desk working. But we don't really, we don't engage much online, and I'm trying. I don't know. I'm trying to change that. I'm old. I'm a little
I
older.
appreciate
You
it.
see the gray hairs in the beard these days.
I think it's awesome, brother. Like seriously, man. I think like in all seriousness, like I just wanted to say thank you for doing this, man. Like
Yeah, it was
I've
awesome.
never seen. I didn't know about that 2000, the first of 2000. Like I'm pretty sure that's it. Like I don't think he did any more, even though it says first
Oh,
there. I'm
I
pretty
think so
sure.
too. I think there was
I think
2,000,
that's it.
and I think 90% of those ended up in grubby little hands like mine when I was 12, and traded to some teenage kid
Yeah.
for $10 or whatever it was.
I do think that. I think that's why they're so hard to find. Like I've
Oh,
only
yeah.
seen certain collections that have them.
I do have to tell you, I have a lookout. I need a lookout. I need everybody that watches this video from now until the end of time to look out. There was a Beckett. There was a Beckett magazine from the early 90s that had the X-Men Gold image. These books were like all just text of all these. You know what Beckett's are? Do you guys know? Even know
Yes.
what Beckett's
Yeah,
are?
yeah.
Yeah, this is what said the price guides. And one of the pages of the price guide in the non-sports section, past the football, baseball, lacrosse, I don't know, all these other sports that way in the back of the book, way in the back of the book,
anything to me.
there was non-sports. And in it had an image, a black and white image of the X-Men Gold's signed Jim Lee card. You couldn't even see the signature on it because it's a silver pen. It's a black and white magazine. And I looked when I was younger. That's when I had realized I had sold something that would probably have value, or traded something that had value. And okay, I'm just gonna play therapy on myself here. Maybe that sense of loss on that card has driven me to be a madman on this set. I'm just trying to get back some small quadrant of my childhood. I think I just want to say again, I want to appreciate you guys for reaching out. I mean, for coming up on this channel. I'm an unknown person. I had some information. I wanted the pros on this, and I really endorse the Pack Fresh podcast, and I really endorse Gingy Man as well. He wasn't able to make it, and I'm just so glad you guys. I'm glad we met. I'm glad we talked to each other.
100%.
This has been meaningful, and YouTube's such a weird thing. Like, there's a lot of people. Like, when you watch content, you feel like you know the people. I feel like I know you guys before I was even talking to you, because I feel like I've been in on these conversations, and I feel like I've just been like optionally not saying anything. Like, I'm not going to contribute today. I got nothing to say to the guys. I'll just listen. And now here I am talking to you, and it's really humbling and nice. And I love what you guys are doing to the hobby. I agree. I think this hobby will grow, and I think there's going to be more information that kind of knits itself together, and all these pockets of information are going to be discovered. I think we really have to be pushing hard on the individuals that worked at Marvel during this time period to find out more inside info about what happened and what was going on, and get some more facts behind this stuff besides just from the fan side. There are people that have retired. There's some old guys that aren't going to be around much longer, and they have insight, and we need to be shaking that tree.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having us, man. It was a treat.
This was a long one.
Historical, man, but it's a historical piece. Like this will be around. People can always look at this. This is phenomenal.
So I just hit end broadcast and we're done. Is that how it works?
That's it,
brother. Thanks
you
so
much for joining us. Like and subscribe. Hit the subscribe bell. Use do the like the thing. Follow these guys on Instagram and on their YouTube channels, individual YouTube channels. Did you get it? Oh no. Okay, that makes you more sad than anything, right?
Oh, I'm devastated.
You have one.
I'm breaking.
Yeah, he has one.
I have one.
No, but you want. I mean, still though, like.
I mean,
that will be the only one you ever have. And that doesn't feel good. I'm sorry, right?
No,
like that's
devastating. No, it actually is. I'm basically laughing.
No, I know. It's like a sad happy. It's like, shoot, the gate shut down. The gate came closed right behind you.
Never get to enjoy that again.
All right, guys, let's do this again sometime. I might have you on again and talk more about some other sets, or again, there's a lot of other aspects of this set I want to discuss. And I want to get my goal is to get Neo on. I want to talk to him. He's his sister character. He's a great radio voice too. I love it.
Yeah, he does.
It's the best.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you again, man.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Later, everyone.